Welcome to the Echo Sportscast number 23.
I'm Paul McLean.
And I'm Dave Dale. Buckle up. We got NDA championships on the go, and not all of them are finishing.
No, it's a very eclectic schedule this week and trying to fit everything in with us. So we're going to have highlights from Chippewa's senior girls' epic 5-game match Wednesday night. They forced a third and final game in their championship series against St. Joseph's Scollard Hall to continue on Tuesday.
Yep, and we got the senior boys basketball championship. I got video evidence of the games 1 and 2. Actually, game 3 is tonight, so we're going to slip that in the description for that result. But excellent back and forth. Algonquin won the first game 57-55, right down to the last bit. And then Trojans stormed back on their home court. So good stuff there.
Speaking of circles, the Trojans junior boys basketball team beat the Bears to three-peat as NDA champions, with Dave catching up some of the action and interviewing Coach Sam Levesque, who will also outline the NOSA Championship Tournament in North Bay today and tomorrow at Chippewa and West Ferris.
And that's not the only NOSA tourney in town. AAA Regional Girls Volleyball tourney is going on as we speak, with juniors using the Algonquin gym and the seniors in Bears territory, concluding today.
And in junior girls volleyball action, Chippewa Ravens captured the NDA banner by sweeping the St. Joseph Scollard Hall Bears 2-0 with a pair of 3-0 games. The Ravens are in Sudbury today to represent the NDA at the NOSA Championship.
Well, we got some details with that, so we'll add that in later in the report. I got some photos. But in NDA hockey, the Chippewa Ravens drew first blood against the Algonquin Barons, winning 4-1 Wednesday night. Unfortunately, Game 2 was set to take place Friday morning, and we won't have that, but we'll have the results in the description. The winner gets to play the Bears next week in the final when that begins. Rounding out the NDA coverage, we have the girls volleyball all-star game going on Monday, and we have the list of the juniors and seniors that are going to be playing. It's going to be at 5 and 6:30 at the Algonquin Gym.
For our spotlight interview, we have Mark Lyons and Connie Hergott in the studio to talk about the Ride for Jack taking place Saturday at the East Ferris Dock on Trout Lake. The third annual event celebrates the life of an autistic young man who loved all sports, with proceeds provided to help others like him at One Kids Place.
For our post-secondary varsity report, we have Mallory Dominico's 100th point. She scored it in a penalty shot was a game winner against Brock last Saturday, so we'll celebrate that. Nice little eye candy.
We were both there for that game, and it was exciting to see them come back and get ready for playoffs, and with a very convincing win over Brock.
Snapped a 5-game losing skid, and that gave them first place. I'm hoping that you give us an update on your girls' team.
And my daughter's team had a very exciting game, so we'll show a little highlight of that. But unfortunately, they just couldn't muster enough. They lost a 2-1 heartbreaker to Sudbury. And so now we've got to focus and move on to the Southern playoffs that we're working on and a tournament this weekend that I'm heading to. So
all that and more. But first, a word from our title sponsor, North Bay Toyota.
It's time to Toyota at North Bay Toyota. Attention truck lovers. Have you been Tundra struck? The powerful and dependable Toyota Tundra is the new definition of grit. Ask us about amazing lease deals on a 2025 Tundra Double Cap SR 4-wheel drive and experience ingenious levels of capability, technology, and refinement. Or maybe you're an SUV lover? Take advantage of a limited shipment of 2025 RAV4s and discover the perfect blend of style, comfort, and efficiency in a compact SUV that ignites your desire to explore. Right now, get excellent lease deals on the Toyota RAV4 LE all-wheel drive and more. It's time to Toyota at North Bay Toyota, 640 McEwen, or online at northbaytoyota.com for details.
So the life of a sports reporter with multiple events on the same day, you go into an event kind of hoping it'll go one way because that'll make your life easier.
Yeah.
Right? So Scollard beat Chippewa Ravens for the senior girls volleyball first game, 3-1. I figure, okay, they're a really good team.
Yeah.
They're probably going to close it out. So I'm tying myself so I'd be there for the finish so I can get an interview for this. And then I was going to go to the boys senior basketball, right?
Yeah.
And I get there, and Chippewa's won the first one, It was a touch and go. I think they won the second one, and then Scollard came back, and like, oh, well, this might not end tonight.
Yeah.
Right? And that means I can't stay to the end because it's going to go too far. I want to get to the basketball. So now I'm cheering for Scollard to come back to finish it off. And then I just said, no, it's better if Chippewa wins and forces it and pushes it off to Tuesday.
Next week.
So I get this what a great volleyball game.
Yeah.
The kills, the diving, the defense that was going on, the crowd and the Chippewa gym. It was great sport.
It is, and it's still, even though it's far more developed now than even when I was growing up, like the amount of club volleyball and how much earlier they're playing it. My son in grade 4 is playing elementary school volleyball, and you're actually seeing, some of the starts of what it's going to look like down the road. They have a actually cool integrated thing where they serve. And then a teacher comes in after that service so that one kid doesn't go on a run where he's just pounding balls in. But then they'll actually toss a ball into to create more gameplay and flow and have more rallies. So it's really exciting. I say that all to get to this point. Like, it's such an exciting sport when you watch it. Like the intensity and the constant rallies, and you just when you think they've got it, they pull something out and then they send it back the other way. So yeah, it's an amazing sport to be a part of and get to see it. So I'm glad to see how well and North Bay's got a rich volleyball history.
So I wasn't there for when the Chippewa ended up winning the 5th set in that, and was able to force the Tuesday's deciding game. But I heard it was really cool. It must have been. I caught the first half. Don't have details for that, but we also have the Chippewa Ravens junior team. They swept the Bears for their championship, and there was a really cool little media release from Craig Nodwell about that. He was pretty impressed because that was one of the first times they've won since 2005, the junior girls volleyball banner, right? So it means a big thing for them. After the regular season, the Scollard Hall sat first in the standings, and they were undefeated record, and Chippewa sat third with an 8-4 record. They peaked at the right time. Chippewa won game 1 in 3 straight sets. In game 2, it was 25-16, 25-16, 25-22. And this marks the first NDA junior win since 2005. So the team members include back row from left, Torrin Hughes, Craig Nodwell, Adelaide Benenson, Kaylee Reed, Lily Campbell, Hannah Padden, Abigail Legault, Paige Sweezy, Braden Blake, Brownwin Bure, and the front row from left, Taylor Brown, Riley Brown, Megan Winrow, Brenna Gervais, and Brooklyn McGowan. Congratulations for the Chippewa Ravens girls junior volleyball team and your NDA banner.
That's very exciting.
We actually have the NDA All-Star game is going on Monday. Yep. It's going to be at the Algonquin gym. Junior girls at 5 and senior girls at 6:30. I'll read off. How about you start with the senior girls?
I'll start with the senior girls. Yep. So on the blue team, we have Riley Argue from Scollard, Isabel Aubin from Franco Cite, Amy Fournier from Franco, Ella Hart from Chippewa, Emily LaChapelle from Algonquin, Rowan Plamondon from Chippewa, Anna Riley Vachon from Scollard, Molly Robertson from Chippewa, and Peyton Wright at Scollard. On the pink team, Rachel Deschamps from Ferris, Kaylin Georgiev from Scollard, Brooke Gravel from Chippewa, Erin Harrison from Chippewa, Annabelle Jackson from Chippewa, Olivia Mancari from Scollard, Emily Scott from Scollard, and Caitlin Smart from Algonquin.
Good job.
Hey, that was pretty good. And then the coaches are Sarah Pickles from Chippewa, Nancy Sorello from Scollard, Sylvia Lapierre from Scollard, and Christine Cloutier from Algonquin. Oh, got through that one already.
Nice job.
Recognize a lot of names there.
Okay, cool. Well, I have the junior list for the blue team. We have Adelaide Benison from Chippewa, Taylor Brown, Chippewa, Brenna Gervais from Chippewa. Then we have Jaden Gosselin from Scollard Hall, Addison Lalone, I guess I should say St. Joseph Scollard Hall, and Janie Senecal from Franco Cite, Emma Wallace from Scollard Hall Bears, and Megan Winrow from Chippewa. On the pink team, we have Riley Brown from Chippewa, Annie Buell from West Ferris, Lily Campbell from Chippewa, Marley Canis representing the Bears, Hannah Padden, the Ravens, Caitlin Tucker, Bears, Haley Williams, Bears, and Amsay Zolak from Algonquin. The coaches for the blue team are Nancy Cirillo from Scollard, Grace Clark, Scollard, and Brooke Alliston, also Bears. For the pink team, the coaches are Mason Truswell from Chippewa and Sylvie Lapierre from the Bears. So should be some great games. Again, junior girls at 5, senior girls at 6:30, and at Algonquin on Monday night.
Yeah, so congratulations to all the girls that played NDA volleyball this year, and on a great season no matter where you landed, and a special congratulations to all the girls selected for the All-Stars. So,
and don't forget, we have the OFSA AA girls coming up the first week of March.
Also at Chippewa, yeah. So that'll be a big one, big OFSA city that week with basketball going on at West Ferris. And so, yeah, Sarah Pickles will be very busy running things at Chippewa, and Sam Levesque's going to be very busy at Ferris running basketball. So it's great to see. So your busy night continued on Wednesday as you were leaving from volleyball and heading off to basketball. So how did that go?
Well, West Ferris was packed. I had to park about an acre away, and it was great. The gym, Trojan land is, they love their basketball.
Yes.
And it was a great game. Not so great for Algonquin. It looked like the Trojans were just going to, deny them an opportunity for a sweep. The game before, on the Tuesday night, came right down to the wire. It was very interesting. I was talking to Barbara Plante. Her family, the Fallis family, is going to be presenting the trophy for the championship for the seniors. And so she was at the game, and we were actually, she knows her basketball because her whole family was basketball, right? And she was kind of actually looking at Wyatt Grant of Algonquin. He had a rough time at the free throw line, 2 for 10. Right, and she was actually strategizing that if you're going to foul anybody, that's the guy to do it, because it was tight game. Right, a couple minutes left, a minute left, and I said, well, I don't know, like maybe he's a great football player. He's an athlete, right? So he may not be good at the free throw line, but he's probably clutch under pressure, right? And he's already been 2 for 10, so, right? Well, it came right down to it. 6 seconds left. He's at the free throw line, and doesn't he just? And he bounces it, and it goes in, right? And so that ended up being a winning point, and then he got the next one, swish. Right? And so I was like,
well, maybe not the guy to foul that. Well, and I mean, that's incredible coming up at that kind of, especially being able to put that behind you and say, okay, it hasn't been my best day at the line, and rather than being afraid of it, gets up and.
Well, it's a big man, and he's under the hoops going, and his job is mostly to get rebounds and also score down there, and he draws a lot of fouls because he's a big guy, right? And against him, because guys are trying to over
hack and whack.
Right? So he's probably bruised and tired by the time he gets to the free throw line, right? But I saw him; he went up there and he just took a deep breath, settled down. And he was clutch.
Just like you do in practice.
So they won that first game, and then it didn't go that way the second game. There was no beating West Ferris that night. And there was some early foul trouble for both teams. There was a lot of discussions. There's a bit of coaches explanations required.
Okay.
There's a little intensity. I was looking over on my left, and I got Tugas, and he's sitting beside Low, right? Everybody's there. That's basketball heaven for this finals, right? But the players that stood out again for the Trojans, Nick Corbeil. He's hot, and that West Buell, of course.
Yeah.
And then there was a couple others that stood out as well. Yeah, number 11, Rowan Way. He hit a couple clutch threes, shooting right in front of me.
So on the topic of Ferris, amazing results from the junior team, and you got a chance to talk to Sam.
Yeah.
So what's Sam feeling, and how did it go in there?
Well, it was my first time interviewing Sam Levac, and I had heard of him. He actually was graduating right before my son started with West Ferris High School, right? So I missed his whole sort of deal. He went to Laurentian to play.
Yep.
I hear everybody talk about him, right? And so finally get to talk to him, and what a calming, like I was watching him on the bench at Scollard when we were doing it. And I talked to him about his coaching style. And I said, you didn't learn this off of Tugas, right? He's the calming force. He's talking to these junior players. He's actually, you got to amp down those guys. You don't need to amp them up.
Yes.
Right? And it's a difference in maybe for a Tuga style for a senior championship. But in junior, you really got to sort of slow them down, and that's what he talked about. He tries to combine everything he's learned in basketball and from all the different coaches he's had, and and with his personality. Yeah, it's got to match your style, right?
And I haven't got a chance to see him coach on the floor, but I have had dealings with him through the store. When we were talking to Mike Mitchell, Sam's been a key part of the Spartans organization as well. And I, again, got to work with him while I was helping out with the OFSA girls that happened earlier in the year. And just, very, the word calculated in a positive, like he's thought out everything. And it was great to work with. He really didn't leave anything unturned when it came to having that offset. And I think everybody that came up felt that they got a really great experience because of that. So kudos to Sam and the whole crew that he's got putting together that offset, and I know there'll be a great one for the boys as well.
I actually like all that. When I was talking to him, I felt it when I was I was a little amped up and all over the place, and he sort of just brought me into that zone. So I could see how he does that with the players, right?
Yeah, that's great.
And he talked about some of the star players. So let's go straight to the interview, and he'll explain how they ended up three-peating as the junior champions. So a big win, but Scollard pushed you to the end, right?
Yeah, we were up, throughout most of the game, and they came back and gave us, we had to earn that one. They pushed it to one, and our boys are really relentless, and they refused to lose mindset they've had all year, and they went out and got what they wanted.
What's next for you guys?
So, NDA is all wrapped up now. So now we have NASA this weekend, which is a AA, AAA. So we got the two best teams from NDA, two best teams from Sudbury, and two best teams from the Sioux. So that's happening this weekend. And the juniors are at Chippewa, the location site, and the seniors are at West Ferris this weekend.
Where can we find the schedules for that?
So you'll be able to see it on our Facebook page, the West Ferris Updates page. That will be posted on there for the public to see and hopefully come out and watch local teams play.
Tell me about your team this year, the main players, and who's going to help you win that NASA.
Yeah, we had, honestly, this is one of the deepest teams I've had. We're very 9-10 strong players deep. So it's great to have balanced some games, right? We'll have one specific player, but, a couple guys that are at the top. Mason Campbell is often leading us in points, and Gage Campaign is also leading us in playmaking, scoring, assists, rebounds. We got a lot of good balance of grade 9s and 10s, and man, when those guys, they play defense and they move the ball, they're a pretty special group.
Yeah, I saw that Gage bringing it up, throwing it down to, was that 23? Is that the guy you're talking about? Yeah. So 23 is Mason, and I saw that they had a lot of tight plays together.
Yeah, they're very very close friends off the court. So when they're on the court, they have that the trust in them, and they can throw a pass to each other, catch it with more certainty than you would expect.
So you're a Trojan alumni. Why is it important to be able to coach the juniors like you're doing?
Yeah, I'm very proud to be a Trojan. Very well respected tradition we have for Trojan basketball, and I've been coaching now. This is my fourth year, and this is our third championship in a row in our three-peat. And I take great pride in coaching the juniors because this fuels our culture and it fuels the senior team for years to come. And we create a great culture here with the juniors and the seniors with Dan Coutu. And every year we're trying to compete as best as we can for local and obviously at the NASA and OFSA level.
Tell me about your Scollard competitors and how they played.
Yeah, they were honestly, they came out pretty flat in game one, and we knew they were going to come hard in the second game at home. And, they didn't have the greatest first half, but second half, they pushed us right to the brink. We had a double-digit lead, and they pushed us to one. We had to call a timeout, settle the boys down, focus on the easy things, and get their mind back on what they should be focusing on. And, they pushed us right to what we had to turn up on defense, and we had to seal it with some clutch free throws at the end.
I noticed you do a lot of coaching during the game. You're involved right on the sidelines, and you're talking calming things down. You didn't learn that from Tugas.
No, a little bit more calm than Tugas. I think he likes to pace up and down, and But I've had a lot of great coaches throughout my career. Obviously, Larry Tugas and Sean Swords at Laurentian playing there, and I've taken a little bit of all those guys and put it into what is best reflected in my own personality. And I really like to coach the boys, and they're young boys and they need a bit of direction, and they're always looking for something. And I'm willing to help them as much as I can during games and obviously throughout the whole season practices.
Yeah, at that age, you really don't have to pump them up. You kind of have to set them straight, right?
Yeah, sometimes their brains run really fast, and we got to slow them down a little bit. Towards the end, we were rushing early shots. When we have the lead, we want to take our time, and we want to use a bit of the clock. And I just had to remind them of that a little bit. And it's just saying the delivery, the approach with them is very important, because they're obviously their emotions are high, mine are high, but I've been there several times, and for them it's very new. So if I'm composed, then they understand that, if coach is composed, I can be composed as well.
So then, after the basketball, I go to West Ferris Arena. No parking.
No.
There's lots of people there.
Yeah.
For the first game of the semifinal between Algonquin and Chippewa. They actually were supposed to play a couple more games to finish off the season. I heard that it was important implications for a scoring race. But you heard a little bit of...
Well, I was talking to some of the boys at the store, actually.
Yeah.
So Max Rive and Carter Thibodeau were having a conversation just as they were closing up the store, and mentioning that those two games needed to be played. There were snow days and stuff, and the implications it could have for... Carter was very close to winning a scoring title, or with a couple games in hand, I guess. And Carter's like, I just want to play these games. So, it was like, I'm ready to move on. He even suggested, which I thought was quite smart, was they could have, if they needed to, use the stats from the playoff games as the final two games or whatever to make it up. But again, those are just great kids at the store. I had such a fun time just listening to them talk about it. And I told you off air, and we got to get them on here just to give us a little bit of a rundown of what the season was like.
I want to hear what they have to say about NDA sports, because those guys know. Yeah,
they live it. They're in all the sports. One of my favorite stories about Carter, we were at a game. They had one of those rare Sunday morning games that they were playing. I guess they weren't rare. They were fairly regular.
Not rare enough.
So Carter misunderstood when the game was. So it was like a 9:30 game. He thought it was 9:30 at night on Sunday. So he also had to work a shift. So he left for the third period to go to work. Yeah. So I felt a little awkward about that one time. I'm like, man, if I knew that, I probably should have helped him get so he could finish the game. But that's, I really love the kids we have at the store. They do such an amazing job. I'm constantly stopped at the rink, or if I'm at a gym with people telling me about some great experience they had. And I just, the only credit I guess I can take for that is having the store. But other than that, we've just got great staff hiring more staff to bring these kids in, and there's some amazing individuals in town, and I'm just happy to see them doing this and doing their thing, and look forward to see what they're going to be down the road.
Was this the Source for Sports library?
I guess this is. We can count this up as Source for Sports staff as our sponsor for today. So,
well, they're good ambassadors for their schools. They're good ambassadors for North Bay, and they represent your store well. So I know that not all your hires are perfect gentlemen, because I think my kid went through co-op there.
It was awesome. I love having Dylan there.
But yes, Source for Sports hires the best.
Well, and I can only thank I'll take credit too, because the hiring now is done by Miguel Beaudry and Curtis Winrow do a lot of that, looking after who's on the floor. So I'll take credit for making sure those guys got there in the first place. But the culture of the store that they continue to bring is amazing, and yeah, it's such a natural tie into the NDA stuff. There's a lot of just conversation around the sharpener and everything about what's going on and what happened last night. And I'm really happy for these guys having fun.
I almost had a perfect video of Thibodeau getting blown up there, spinning around.
Yeah.
Like they were going after him. He's going after them. It was a bit of a war out there. It was actually really good hockey. Not too much dirty stuff, but everybody was aware, that big McGill guy from Algonquin. But Chippewa won the game 4-1. Last goal was empty netter. I got that one, and I got, I think, the third goal by Anderson. Kyle Anderson buried 2 for the game. Gavin Thibodeau and Grayson Bradley had singles. I think I might have had Bradley's. I'm not sure. But and Hayden Casey, who is on fire, is deep forecheck. He was trying to check McGill. He's not a big guy.
Yeah, I saw McGill come in. He had an awesome suit and cowboy hat on. So they were there following my daughter's game. So this has been a couple Wednesdays now where I get to see the guys all coming into the rink. And like I said, there's no parking anywhere. People are parking all up and down the street.
I can see him doing the cowboy thing.
Yeah, so it's great. It's fun. And there was a lot. The U16 AA team were doing their team photos, the Trappers. And so they've all got the blonde hair that they dyed for playoffs and stuff. So it's a really fun atmosphere this time of year to be at the rink and the playoffs and everybody putting it all on the line.
Well, I did notice Algonquin didn't have their Pennell in that.
Yeah.
They had Beaupre. I hadn't seen him yet. I'm not sure if Pennell will be back for game 2 on Friday morning, this morning. But if Algonquin pulls it off, then they have to play a third game. If not, the winners would be the Ravens, and they'll play the Bears next week, starting in the final.
Okay.
Yeah, should be good. Good hockey. We'll look for more information in the description.
For today's Spotlight interview, we sat down and we spoke with Mark Lyons and Connie Hergott. They came in studio to discuss the Ride for Jack that's happening this Saturday. And it's a really great interview. It gives you, for anyone that doesn't know the story about Jack Lyons, Mark does a really great job of painting a picture of everything Jack loved and everything that Mark has been doing to just sort of help support one kid's place and so many kids in need with it because of Jack's love of sport. And Mark and Connie are putting this event together. It's fantastic.
I never got a chance to meet Jack. Actually, I saw him around, but autistic child with some other complications, and what a big loss. But they're building and creating something positive out of his personality and driving forward and adding a good thing to and helping others.
Yeah, Jack went to school at Chippewa, and I remember, he was just, another. The battalion players that were at that time at the school with Jack really embraced him and made him, just they knew he was at the games. They knew how much he loved the battalion, and it's just so great to see young people supporting other young people, and maybe looking past things that years ago people might have had other ways to look at it, and it's just it's really sad to think about some of the tragedies that have occurred in North Bay, but incredible to think about the spirit of the families and the people that support those families that have brought that together, and really is the glue that I think is so wonderful here.
So if you want to feel some positivity, watch the next 5 minutes of a portion of our podcast interview, Spotlight interview with these people. But if you're looking for more positivity, Saturday down at the end of McPherson Drive, down at the East Ferris dock, all these good people are going to be biking on those fat bikes.
Yeah, and if you've got a fat bike, it's not too late to come join. If you don't and you just want to come check things out, put on some long johns and some warm socks and go down and enjoy some hot soup, I guess.
Yeah, there's great trails they have set up down there, and you can just go down and hang out and give them some cash.
Yeah.
For the good times for the good projects that they have coming up.
All right, so here's our interview with Mark and Connie. This is going to be the third year, if I'm mistaken.
This is our third year.
Yeah.
We our dream came a reality after Jack passed. Connie and I have been friends for a long time, and I messaged her and said, "There's something calling." I said, "It's Ride for Jack," and she said, "I'm going to organize it," and that's how it started. Our first year was a epic success. Last year, Weather didn't really cooperate. Again, an epic success, but this year it's epic right now for sure.
And Connie, with the biking, you organized all the riders and kind of the brains behind this one, I think Mark said.
Thanks. He gives me a lot of credit. It's a total group effort. We have lots of behind the scenes people to bring this to fruition. The conditions this year are going to be epic. It's the weather is perfect. The trails are groomed and packed. It's a gift to be able to ride out on the Stepping Stones Trail Network, because most of those trails that we use for this are only accessible during the winter.
Yeah.
So it's pretty incredible.
So for people that don't know about, you're riding fat bikes or out in the snow, it's a newish, thing that people are doing, and it's great. I see the bikes all over. Talk a little bit more about that for people that don't know what fat bikes involve and how you guys got involved with it.
Well, here, I think that our riding season in the winter is actually longer than the mountain bike season for sure, because winter is tough here. So it's a great winter activity if skiing and snowshoeing, those things aren't your jam. Mm-hmm. Fat biking, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
My group of friends and I, we always say, let's go play bikes. And I think, having this with the Ride for Jack, it's near and dear to my heart because Jack also played bikes.
Yeah.
So, and it's in his backyard. So
it's a natural fit to all have everything come together. What were some of the initial struggles after you come up with the idea, and then the fat bike rubber hits the road and you've got to get to work on things? What are some of the hurdles, or I guess just the challenges that you met and have overcome to be able to make it such a success?
Okay, thank you. I think the biggest hurdle is Mother Nature. Mm-hmm. Will it be minus 40?
Yeah.
Or will it be way too mild and the trail's too soft? So we can't control that. We do as much prep work as we can. The volunteers out there that are snowshoeing the trails, packing them with skidoos, marking them, clearing the brush.
Insane.
It's a great
effort, boy. Like I'm telling you, it's pristine.
Yeah.
Rod Bills, Mike Cocker line, there's people that are they are diehard thinking the Jack Lions Ride for Jack is just a wonderful event to be involved with, right?
And talk to people about all of the amazing groups that the Jack Lions Foundation does support because of events like this.
Yeah, my wife and I walk the walk of special needs, and we always felt there was a little bit what was missing, and it gave us our voice. Jack gave us a voice to say, okay, this is what's missing, and rather than whine about it, we did something about it. So basically, we work within the camps at One Kids Place to support about 100 kids every summer. Every summer we have a bike day now with the Jack Lions Bike Day. We have a golf day. We have a hockey day, all things that Jack loved. And it's all part of that at One Kids Place and the Jack Lions Playground. So it's near and dear to my heart. And the feedback has been just been phenomenal.
Yeah, I was lucky to be a part of the dedication ceremony for the Jack Lions Park at One Kids Place. That was really special to be there. And, Jack just had such an impact on different sports, whether I'm at the arena and I walk by. I know such a huge fan of the battalion. And they've, the call out at the store, they've got the Jack Lions. That's
the JL support.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Fantastic. And then again, I would have first met with doing North Stars and hockey. So it was such a busy guy. Like it was so amazing as parents for you guys to be able to get.
And I said this, I've talked about it before, I just when I was at One Kid's Place with one doctor, and he said he probably never would, and I'm looking at the guy, and I just thought you're not going to tell me that, and with Connie's help with certain things, I say, what about this and what about this, and it was just an epic thing of watching him just ride his bike down the driveway. For a kid with special needs, couldn't really talk. That was something that just such a big achievement for us. When I saw Connie's son on the Fat Boy bike, I said, Connie, I got to get one, and talked to her about it. Got Jack on the Fat Boy bike. We started with riding in the road, running beside him, and then we got on the lake, and we got on the skidoo trail. And of course, being out of shape like I am, I had to cross country ski. I couldn't stay up with him, but his hum of happiness on his bike was epic for me, and just always wanted to hear I had a good day. And that's what came to Les and I is, you can do all small things with him, and he was happy. And basically, March especially, we get off on March break, or we get on the bike, and he was waiting for us to take him on that bike. He loved his bike, he loved his battalion hockey, he loved his golf. So we were very lucky with his passion for everything made us passionate about what we do now.
North Bay Echo is proud to partner with Twigs Coffee Roasters, a part of the community since 1995. Twigs offers a wide selection of quality beans, fresh roasted in-house every day. Find your favorite specialty drinks at our espresso bar. Rejuvenate with freshly squeezed juice, or treat yourself to mouth-watering selections from our gourmet deli. And don't forget our irresistible fresh baked goods, including uncompromising gluten-free options. Twigs has 5 locations to serve you, from North Bay to Sturgeon Falls to Sudbury. Order online for pickup at twigs.ca. And coming soon, you'll be able to order fresh roasted coffee beans direct to your doorstep from our distribution center in North Bay.
Well, it was really cool to see Mallory score a 100th point with a penalty shot. I actually have her being hooked going in, and I got a clear view of her goal, and then the high fives. I'm not sure if everybody knew that was her 100th point, but it seemed like they're celebrating.
They were celebrating. There seemed to so the penalty shot happened in the far end. I must have just missed you in the bar, because I think I was parking the car or something and coming in. I think I had to run a kid somewhere, so I got to the game later. But
I didn't go to the bar till the third period.
Okay, well, hey, it was a good day on Saturday. I guess everything. I was running from. I think we were at a gym for something else too for the kids. So it was great, and I could just see this look on her face as she scored the goal, and it was kind of like an aw shucks kind of like, of course, penalty shot. Like almost seemed a little. I don't want to. Embarrassed by the extra attention had it, but she went down, she buried it, and then even I know they kind of delayed the line change was a little thing I noticed just at the face-off to kind of give just that little extra bit of attention to it. So it was great. It was they controlled that game. They played really well. They looked like a team that's ready for playoffs. So I think the 5-game winning or losing streak has been put to bed now.
Well, the story inside the story, of course, is that she was the one that didn't get to have a shootout attempt, that game that started the losing skid.
Yes. Right.
And this ended the losing skid, and she was doing the penalty shot.
Okay, so maybe that's the look that I saw on the face was possibly a little bit of don't ever leave me on the bench again when it comes time to...
I don't know.
Hey.
Nobody said this, but this is what I'm reading.
Well, we still talk about Wayne Gretzky being left out of that lineup in Nagano, so, penalty shots and who to pick is a big decision for
only
coaches.
Darren knows how significant that the particular point is.
Yeah, but so great for them, and then, with U of T dropping the chance to kind of lock up first place, Nipissing was able to get it with the way they finished, and that earns them a bye into this very complex playoffs bracket that I don't understand. And I have actually looked at it. It doesn't. There's not playoff series this year. They're one and done games, and there's a bit of a crossover in the semis. So you could have 2 East teams in the final or 2 West. But
it's funny. I was actually going over that with Laura.
Yeah,
and. What's her last name again?
Maybe.
I'm just kidding.
No, you're trying to catch me on that. Yeah.
Anyways, we were going over and I said, well, they could get first the way I was doing it, because Brock was like playing their hearts out, because if they won, they got into the playoffs.
Yes.
That meant a lot to them. And it didn't look like it meant a lot to the Lakers, because everybody assumed, including Laura, that U of T was going to win.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm like, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
The gods are, I get whispers.
Well, and if you start looking at the stats too, because that's where you kind of have to go, like U of T had more wins and still has more wins. They finished with 17, but the amount of close games that Nipissing had, so whether it was an overtime loss or a shootout loss, is where they picked up those extra points. And you're right, because about the urgency that Brock was playing with, pulling their goalie with about 4 minutes to go. They got the one goal and they were pressing. They even had a face-off in their own end with like 45 seconds to go without a goalie in that.
Yeah.
So it's nice. And I know Turk's a guy who likes to pull a goalie too, and I'm on the same boat. I think it's exciting when you can, turn that advantage. And sometimes creating offense in girls hockey can be very difficult. So, having that extra player out there is worth it because, the way the girls can just shut down in defense and block shots, it's hard to get shots on net sometimes. So I think it's a great strategy. But yeah, I've seen Turk pull a goalie with 10 minutes left in a period and, like to get some creative stuff.
Well, it was actually in the NDA game last night. The Algonquin had like a 5-on-3 power play.
Yeah.
And they had pulled their goalie earlier, but they didn't pull him with a face-off down at the other end with a 5-on-3. And I'm thinking, okay, well, it was 3-1. It could have happened. But I'm not a coach.
Yeah.
Right? But I would have pulled the goalie.
I'm like I would pull goalies with 6-7 seconds left in a period if you had that if you're in the offensive zone for a faceoff, because I'm like, if you can get the puck back, get it down the ice and score, I'll give it to you. I'm taking the chance of us getting a shot off from the point or something. So always fun to just kind of mix it up.
I think back to my kids' goalie history.
Yes.
And there was a time when in novice rep,
Yep.
first period, down 2-0. Dylan got pulled because we had a face-off with 30 seconds left
In the
in
far
the
end.
other end.
Yeah.
Right? And then they scored into the empty net
Yeah. 30 seconds is a lot of time.
in the first period.
Yes. Yeah. If it's under 7, I'll look at it. I loved it. I just liked being active. But the other thing about it too that happens at the young age is the confusion on the kids.
Yeah.
So you kind of need to introduce it. I still remember like the earliest days of like girls going, why are you pulling the goalie? Because they would get so scared that the net was empty. And so automatically you would have some girl want to go and pretend like she was the goalie. So I'm like, that's not the point. We need to get the puck out. We need some urgency here. Let's go.
Yeah.
But once you can, so I kind of like to just get it into the girls' heads early so that as they got older, they just came to expect it. And then they start to play with a little bit more comfort in the idea of instead of panic.
It is shocking when it happens at that novice rep age.
Yeah.
And I think it was the first game or one of the first games between the East Nipissing Vipers and West Ferris.
Yeah.
And so we had quite the rivalry, actually in novice.
It has not changed at all. Yeah. So,
Well, that's hockey. Welcome to the big leagues.
Exactly. That's what we're all playing for. But so good luck to Nipissing, and we'll wait to find out who they play for their first playoff game, looking like it's going to be Wednesday of next week. So keep that on your schedule.
Well, I'm dying to hear how the game go.
So the girls were amped up. I know my daughter Brooklyn was very nervous.
U13 Junior Lakers?
U13A Junior Lakers, yeah. So we were at West Ferris on Wednesday night before the NDA game, and Sudbury was there. So this was game 3. Game 1 was a 1-1 tie at Ferris. Game 2 was a 0-0 tie in Coniston. So we'd secured extra time. We were going to play a 10-minute overtime period, and if it was still tied, we'd go to a shootout. Great game, back and forth, lots of scoring chances and exciting opportunities and good saves. Proud dad moment. My daughter got one from the point and was the opening goal, and she was really excited and elated. It'd been a while for her, a little bit snake bitten on scoring, so she was pumped to get back into it. And but then Sudbury fought right back, got the tying goal, and then was able to slip another one in the third. And we tried with a pulled goalie and everything and just weren't able to make it happen. But so congratulations to Sudbury going on to provincials. And for us, we told the girls they got to flush that because we, by the time this hits the air, we'll have already left and been to Caledon to play first of our Southern League playoffs. And we've sandwiched that in with a tournament we're in Brantford this weekend. So lots of hockey for our girls and very exciting time of year for it. So lots of other Junior Lakers and Trappers teams all kind of coming into their playoffs. I know there's some Tournament of Champions that are going to be hosted here for the North Bay Trappers. And everything's kind of starting to wind up, but this is the most exciting time of the year. So happy to be in the rinks.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah. I mean, hey, it's the hockey parent life, right? The sport parent life, where you're running around from one gym to the next, from one rink. But I wouldn't have it any other way, and I know all the parents that I get to share this with feel the same way too. So it's always heartbreaking to watch your kids suffer a loss, and for a lot of these girls, this will be their first year not going to provincials in a few years. So. But that's all right. We'll just keep working on it and focus our attention on trying to win that Southern playoff.
Oh, good luck for that. And
thank you.
Safe travels.
Yeah, looking like we should have some good weather. I'm glad we were traveling this weekend, not last weekend, heading south. But get to hit the road and bring home some wins. Well,
for our Heritage Moment, we're actually going to promote what we're going to do for next week's Heritage Moment, because I don't have all the details. But as I was talking to Barb LaPlante and the talking about the Fallis Trophy,
yep.
I thought maybe we should do some of that. So what I'm going to do is a little bit of research on the trophies that are being handed out and for whom, and why those names are attached to those trophies and how special it is. So if you have any information about some of the NDA trophies and you want me to include it in next week's Heritage Moment, please pass it over to me at editor@northbayecho.ca. I think that's important to remember, what these trophies stand for.
Yeah, I by chance went into Twigs this morning, and the trophy was there, the Fallis Trophy for senior basketball. So there's a couple pictures. I can get Ben to put them up, and I took shots of all the winning teams, and so there's a dent on the back of it. Or the top. Larry Tugas claimed that. So I got to see Larry, Terry Venditti was there, Tim Lowe, and they were kind of going over and showing me there's a run of like 9 West Ferris championships in 11 years. Larry showed me that. So I've got pictures of all the team names. So it's pretty great to see the history of it. And yeah, I'd love to know more about these trophies. And I think it's really important to understand who first thought of putting the trophy, or who these trophies were named after, because they obviously had a huge impact into the world of NDA sports. Yeah, well, excellent. So hopefully I catch the family when they hand the trophy out tonight, or Thursday night, for the basketball, and maybe I'll get some information there. But trying to build up a little feature for next week, and any help would be appreciated. Yeah, all right. So that's been another Echo Sportscast 23. Wow. 23. Yeah. Amazing. Well, that was lots of fun. We got through lots of information and lots of it's like a championship show. The craziness. Okay. Thanks for viewing. Please like, share, and comment. We need you. And sign up for the newsletter, because then you can get some information about stuff on a weekly basis on Wednesdays. So go to northbayecho.ca. That's us for today. I'm Paul McLean. And I'm Dave Dale. Have a good day.